Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are, what you're doing, and where you're watching. It's your boy, Celine Driver, me, coming to you with another not walking and talking video. I do these videos, I'll try to do them on a fairly regular schedule to take the opportunity to clear my mind, get something off my chest, go over something that's in the news or something that we're all talking about, and give my 2 cents worth for free to you, my loyal viewers. Haven't done one of these videos in a while. 5 things that really just piss me off. And since you all think I'm the grumpy old man in the room, I will play the role that you will have me play. And don't worry, I'll balance this out with a subsequent video. 5 things that make me happy. And believe it or not, there are things that make me happy. But this is not a happy video. I've seen too much crap lately that just pisses me off, and I'm going to talk about it. And I have a list here. Non-copious notes. I just wrote down a topic, and I will just speak off the cuff. Wokeness would be right at the top of my list. This woke nonsense that I see and hear and have been assaulted with every day for what seems like forever. I look at the news on TV or what I read on the internet, and the thought that constantly runs through my mind is, I hate the world that we've created. And make no mistake, we've created this world of absolute stupidity, the inability to see what's in front of you and apply logic to it, and come out with the most insane conclusions or beliefs. It boggles my mind. A good example was something I saw just yesterday on a video clip that was played on an internet program I watched called The Charlie Kirk Show. Hat tip to Charlie Kirk. And it was an interaction between a congressman, I'm not sure if he was a senator or representative, and a professor from, I believe, UC Berkeley, a law professor of all things, actually arguing over a question that the representative asked the professor about could men give birth. I'm not sure what the context was. I'm not sure what the hearing was about. But he asked the question, did the professor believe that men could give birth? And she sat there and arrogantly and condescendingly tried to lecture the representative over, in her mind, the fact that men could give birth. What? Okay. Basic biology lesson. Men lack the internal plumbing, if you will, to gestate a child in the womb. For one thing, because men lack wombs, they lack egg production capability, they lack fallopian tubes, they lack pretty much every piece of biological equipment needed to gestate and birth a child. So no, sweet cheeks. Men cannot give birth. Okay? But she believed this, and she was lecturing this senator or this representative, and by extension, lecturing everyone viewing the hearings that men can give birth. And this is wokeism. This is a part of you deny the basic common sense, and we've created this environment where absolute rank stupidity is taken as, they serve it up as tripe, and we're supposed to swallow it, as the saying goes. This wokeism that you have to self-censor. You have to use the right pronouns. You have to use the right code words, or if you don't, you're a horrible person, and the R word, the R word, and you should be shunned and canceled from society. And this is wrong. It quashes debate. It quashes discussion. It quashes free speech itself. Hell, this video might be canceled because I dared to talk about it and I didn't toe the woke line. Another thing that pisses me off is Congress. Almost all 535 members of this legislative body that can't do anything and refuses to do anything. Do you realize, for example, my friends, that we as a country haven't generated a budget in years? No formal budget, just a series of continuing resolutions, lurching from one continuing resolution to another, to another, to another, and always with the threat of a government shutdown, and always with the threat of a government shutdown around Christmas or Thanksgiving, and where the media can play up how horrible one side is over the other, and people will starve and people won't get paid, even though they do get paid back pay. It's the law, and the critical functions, ergo the functions that don't shut down at 5 p.m. on a Friday afternoon, they still continue to function. Paycheck, Social Security checks continue to get printed and mailed. The military stays functional, etc. Congress has no leadership. They have no. They come out with nonsensical rules and regulations all the time that do nothing to advance the lives of the American people. They just do whatever they need to do to stay in power. They've created so much deficit and debt in this country, pardon me, that there's no way it can be paid off. Do you realize that this country is $30 trillion in debt? 30 trillion. If you pick up one of these and you can download an app, in fact, I will try and find it right now. Hang on. I should have been more prepared for this. Debt Clock. It's called usdebtclock.org. I don't know if this will come across on the screen. Let me see. See that national debt number that's cranking away at blinding speed? That's our national debt. And you can see debt per citizen, debt per taxpayer. Look at that debt per taxpayer. Every taxpayer in the United States right now would have to pay $243,000 in order to pay off the debt that this country is accumulating. That's your Congress, my friends. That's a Congress that's spending money so badly they made drunken sailors look like misers by comparison. They don't pass real legislation. They're concentrating. You get the leadership of the House more interested in fining members of Congress for not wearing masks and jumping ugly all over them for using the wrong pronouns than they are for trying to pass meaningful welfare reform, meaningful tax breaks, rewriting the tax code, considering the fair tax, doing things that will substantively improve the lives of the American people. They don't care about that. They care about holding and accumulating power. So, fuck Congress. Another thing that pisses me off, number 3, lack of pride in your work, or customer service, or customer disservice. It just seems that nobody cares anymore. It really does seem that way. You've heard me rail about sweet potato pie. Go watch one of my other rant videos about that. Or you've heard me rant about the post office or shipping companies in general. Nobody cares. Nobody will take ownership of anything, it seems, recently. And it's maddening. You spend your hard-earned money. In a lot of cases, you spend your hard-earned and cannot get back ever time to accomplish something, and it relies on the work or the services or the information gathering of another person, and they don't care. There's no accountability. They get paid whether the task is accomplished successfully or not. And it's maddening. And it seems to be getting worse and worse. Employees just don't care. And company owners just don't seem to care anymore about the end result. Because they get paid whether the end result is a positive or a negative. Traffic. Traffic just... The inability of people to concentrate on driving your car in such a manner that you don't scatter plastic and metal and whatever else your car is made out of all over the landscape, and either take yourself out of the game or take a whole bunch of other people out of the game too. It truly is crazy what I see out on the road. I literally, just yesterday, I had to drive from my house down to another city south of me called Venice to pick something up. I had to take I-75, major highway. Doing about 70-ish, 70-ish miles an hour. No, I was not in the Saline. I didn't want to. What I was picking up had the potential to be messy, and I didn't want to risk messing that car up. And I'm sitting there looking at this, trying to get away from this one car that's kind of moving around all over the place. I finally get up next to the driver. It's a woman. Just throw that out there because it could have just been a man. Tapping on her, holding her steering wheel's here, holding her cell phone, tapping away on her cell phone at 70 plus miles an hour. And she's caused a backup behind me because she can't hold the lane. The backup was easily a good quarter mile behind her because she just refused to drive the car and stay in her lane. We have a road system in this country that is in disrepair. It was undersized when it was planned, which I think is purposeful because, as we all know, the transportation system is an annuity that never stops giving. I think they purposely design our road systems to be undersized at the beginning so that they can get more money down the line and not too far down the line so they can continue to expand it and improve it. And a special curse to Sarasota County Department of Transportation, SDOT. Your love affair with roundabouts, traffic circles, whatever you want to call them, your love affair with traffic circles in this county and this city is becoming really quite frightening. You've got octogenarians driving around in really, really big cars at 10 miles an hour. They can't see over the steering wheel. They can't see, they can't hear. The reaction time can be measured in with a calendar. And you expect these people to navigate a traffic circle, and they can't do it. I've literally seen one car go round and round in the traffic circle 2 and 3 and 4 times around, trying to figure out where to get off the damn circle. And they're whacking into each other. And then they design multi-lane traffic circles. And you're on the inside lane, and all of a sudden you realize, no, you need to go there, and they just cut across the outside lane, which is the lane they should have been in, and inevitably cause a wreck and destroy the traffic circle. What's wrong with a 4-way intersection with a really good designed light, traffic light system? Except you can't do that, can you? How many places in this country you go to where you have 2 major roads intersecting each other like that or whatever, and the traffic light cycle is like 10 seconds? Literally, 10 seconds. A light turns green, 10 seconds later it turns red. And then the other direction is like 10, 15 seconds. It's maddening. The traffic system needs an overhaul, and people need to learn how to fucking drive. People learn how to drive by being taught how to parallel park and run around a parking lot by a high school football coach trying to choke down a pastrami sandwich. Driver training in this country is a joke. Anyway, last thing I have is the general stupidity that I see every day. Really pisses me off. I've already gone over a whole bunch of stupid things in the first 4 categories, but I was watching a video the other day. Some guy from Fox News went out and interviewed people during 4th of July, and were asking basic history questions like, who was the first president, or who's buried in Grant's tomb, or who did we fight in World War II? Who attacked us at Pearl Harbor? Who's your senator? Who's president? Who's the vice president? Are we a democracy or a republic? People couldn't answer these questions. It literally, especially the younger folks, younger than myself, the 20s, the teens and the 20s, they couldn't answer basic history questions. And what are we teaching people? What's going on here? And then the general stupidity of people walking around with their noses buried in these goddamn things all the time. And running into people. They're running into buildings. Get your head out of your phone. I'm as guilty as anyone of being on my phone probably too much. But at least I know enough to stop playing with the phone while I'm walking. Calling 911 when your local McDonald's ran out of chicken McNuggets. Literally happened. It amazes me that some people, if breathing were not an autonomic nerve function, they would suffocate and die because they forgot to breathe. They're that dumb. Anyway. So that is just 5 things that I just came up with this morning. 5 things that just piss me off. There's more. There's always more. But, I try to keep it to 5 so I don't raise my blood pressure to the point where it's shooting out of my eye sockets. Anyway, I do promise that the next video will be 5 things that make me happy, and there are things that do make me happy, and I will go over those things. So thank you for listening to an old guy rant. This is your boy, Celine Driver, and I am out.